Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies, how the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. Vector Biosciences is working toward innovations to assist humankind with research in space. And with me is the CEO, Cation Franks, to talk about it is exactly what it is you're doing. So tell me about Vector. What kind of research are you doing?
Well, at Vector Space Biosciences, first I'd like just to summarize what we talked about during our last interview, which was based on the drug Keytruda. And most people have seen Keytruda commercials. Most people know the drug. It's built by Bristol Myers Squibb. Merck and Bristol Myers Squibb have operations in space where they launch drug compounds into space so that they can understand how the proteins crystallize to make them more effective for people based on precision medicine on the ground. Okay, so what we work on today is drug repurposing. So drug repurposing, a very good example of that would be the drug Wegovy. So most people have also heard of Wegovy.
Certainly a lot lately.
That's right. So Wegovy was a drug for weight loss and obesity and things like that, but they found that it would reduce heart attacks and strokes by about 20%. And that's probably one of the best and most recent examples of drug repurposing. There are about 7,400 FDA-approved drugs. The reason you want to focus on drug repurposing is that you can get it fast track in 3 months instead of waiting 10 years for an FDA-approved drug.
They already know it's safe.
Yeah, they know it's safe.
They're just trying, I guess, testing the effectiveness of it at that point.
And then at the same time, you have companies that can tack on an additional $14.5 billion, like Novo Nordisk, to their valuation.
Yeah.
So, protecting humans and increasing your valuation at the same time.
What is it about space that helps them test the effectiveness of these drugs?
So the microgravity in space enables a drug compound or protein to crystallize in a much more uniform fashion so that it can be more effective once that uniform fashion can be brought back down to the ground.
So let's talk about 2024. What kind of projects, things do you have in the pipeline?
Well, we have two main things in the pipeline. Number one, getting on the launch calendar, and that takes passing FCC approval and things like that. And then number two.
You mean like a rocket launch calendar?
Yes.
Okay.
That kind of, exactly. And then, of course, launching. And then being sponsored by some of our partners.
Yeah. Okay. So how can investors get involved?
Well, we have a trading vehicle, that's SBio, and that represents the equity. It's a security token. It represents the equity of our company. And then, of course, we have VXV, which controls data set security and data set provenance, because the datasets power all of AI. That's one of the most important things to know. So if it's a new attack surface, you have to protect your dataset. So we use a utility token, VXV, to protect basically what's called provenance and security of the dataset. And SBio at the same time supports the equity. So we raise a little bit of capital based on SBio, which is traded on lbank.com right now.
So could they go to your website and learn more about these different investment vehicles?
Absolutely. It's vectorspacebio.science.
Okay. Cation, thank you so much.
Sure thing.
Lameness issues, joint pain, and osteoarthritis can be difficult to treat and debilitating for an animal's health and well-being. Take control of lameness issues and joint pain. Introducing Spring with OsteoCushion technology. With just one injection, Spring with OsteoCushion technology targets the root cause of lameness issues, joint pain, and osteoarthritis, helping animals do what they do best.
Curax Pharmaceuticals is working on a treatment for C. diff, which is a common bacterial infection. And they are seeing some promising results from clinical trials so far. So with me, CEO David Lucci, great to have you back and get an update on this, because I know these trials have been very promising for you. So bring us up to date on the completed phase 2B clinical trial. What did you see there?
Excellent. So far what we've seen, and we have two more critical endpoints to announce, which we'll do in the coming weeks. So far what we've seen is 96% of our patients, 25 out of 26 in fact, are cured at the end of treatment, and 25 out of 25 who were cures at the end of treatment are sustained cures. So what that shows us is that in the $4.7 billion recurrent C. diff market, if we can continue that in phase 3, we will significantly impact the size of that and save billions of dollars for Americans.
Can we take just a second and talk about C. diff real quick and kind of lay the groundwork? Like, explain this and what a big problem it is.
Sure. C. difficile is an infection in the colon caused largely by antibiotics that cause dysbiosis, or an imbalance in the bacteria in your gut, your microbiome they call it. So there's a cottage industry now of microbiome therapeutics to try to supplement what antibiotics do to treat C. diff. So C. diff is over $1 billion market, and the recurrent C. diff market is caused by patients whose dysbiosis causes more infections. So what we're showing is that we're not only showing thus far, heading into phase 3, better efficacy data at the end of treatment, we're showing that all of our patients are sustained cures. And in the coming weeks, we're going to describe for the first time ever, the first antibiotic, ours, to treat C. diff patients is going out 94 days to show if we're still extended cures that far out. No one's ever gone north of 60 days. So that's a first time thing. If we still have all cures at that extended cure date, 94 days out, and the microbiome head-to-head data will be presented in that same release, that would be fundamentally changing of the treatment paradigm for C. diff.
What should investors know about maybe some upcoming milestones? What are some important dates and things they should look for?
So I think in the month of January, we should have our final two big endpoints out from the phase 2B trial. That's the microbiome head-to-head and the extended cure data. Both of those things will show the kind of impact our drug will have on the recurrent C. diff market. Again, $4.7 billion market. If the data holds in phase 3, what we're seeing so far, we think that'll be really exciting news for us. Then we go into the FDA meeting, and then after the FDA meeting, we're going to take everything that we've done in the US development process, and we're going to add an international phase 3, and then we're going to go to the European Medicines Agency. So we won't have to replicate the tens of millions we've spent in the US development thus far in Europe. We don't have to do it over again. All we have to do is make sure we have European sites in phase 3, and then when we file for approval, or a partner files for approval in the US, they can immediately file for approval in Europe without another 10 years.
Okay. So the first quarter sounds like it's going to be quite pivotal for you and the company.
Oh, it'll be packed. It's a really exciting time. But there's all of the critical endpoints that we needed to happen have now happened. So now we can relax, enjoy the Christmas holidays. You still have your invite.
That's right, and I'm sure you'll be back in January to update us on all the results. So
absolutely.
Thank you so much, David.
Thank you, Jane. Happy holidays.
Yeah.
Clean Vision identifies and supports innovative companies in clean energy and sustainability, aiming to meet global market needs while improving customer quality of life and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. At Clean Vision, we provide consultancy services, helping organizations enter new markets faster and become more profitable. Clean Vision, the future of clean energy.
Himpaco's goal is disrupting the nearly $1 trillion tobacco industry with herb and hemp-based alternatives to nicotine cigarettes. And they just signed an agreement with CB Day to distribute the products in India and Thailand. So with me to talk more about this, CEO of Himpaco, Sandro Piccone, and then also Sid Shivkumar, the CEO of CB Day, to talk about this new deal. Sounds very exciting. Sandro, let's start with you. I mean, tell me about this new exclusive master distributor agreement.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you for having us on again. Sid, thank you for joining us. Yes, so we met Sid and his group about a year ago, a little bit over a year ago. He came to visit us at our factories. We met him, we liked his vision for his company. And what we discussed was becoming a distributor in India for us. So we started doing some logistics, some testing of products, of shipping. We learned a lot through that experience. And then we also decided he did a lot of on his own traveling to see what markets were growing. And one of them is Thailand, which he's going to tell you all about. So he was out here for the last 2 weeks. Actually, before MJ BizCon, we sent a team to India to work with him to look at logistics, supply chain on certain products. But then he came back out, followed the team to Las Vegas. We met at MJ BizCon. That's where we signed the agreement. So CB Day is our exclusive distributor, not just for India, but also for Thailand. And so we're very excited to have him. We call him a partner. He's part of the family. So we're very excited to have Sid join Himpaco.
And how about managing this rapidly changing industry? I know at least here in the US, there's new laws, kind of push and pull, banking, so forth. I mean, how do you manage all of that, a growing business and work-life balance?
Right. So me personally, I'm a research kind of a guy. I love to read. I'm reading research papers. I'm keeping myself updated with all kind of news around the world. And that kind of brings a leverage to me on a personal level and also to CB Day. And with that, I'm into fitness. I listen to music. I'm a DJ as well. I make music. I'm a music producer. Deep house music. That's my kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, music, fitness, going to the gym, definitely talking to experienced, well-learned professionals.
Yeah.
That guides me a lot.
Yeah. And what about the future of hemp and cannabis in India and Thailand? Like, what are some things we should keep an eye out for? Some like perhaps developments coming?
Right. So the very interesting thing and the most important changes that we are expecting is the Uttarakhand government has come out with a draft policy which has everything right from importation to distribution, sales, manufacturing, cultivation, import, export, all of it. And we as an industry and CB Day, we expect that to happen sometime anywhere between the next 3 to 9 months. And if that happens, and with the kind of population that we have, we are a population of 1.2 billion. And 60% of us are below the age of 35. So you have got a lot of youth energy right there, who are constantly evolving. They want to try new products. They're well versed with the whole concept of, modern music, hip hop music. And it just sits perfectly well. A young population, celebrity brands, with the history of cannabis, we are just putting it out there right in the center. So I think CBD has got a sweet spot.
And then where would you like to see the company, say, in 5 or 10 years?
Well, as we are growing now, I see CBD's presence in all 7 continents. That's what that was my first thing. When I developed this company, I had this vision to be functioning and to have our operations in all 7 continents. Now that we have our operations in Asia, in 2 countries, starting with India and Thailand, we have 3 more countries to go. And we are currently figuring out the logistics, the rules and regulations. And yes, so 5 or 10 years down the line, that's where I see CBD would be operating in almost all 7 continents.
Okay, the whole world, global. So, well, exciting. It sounds like
very true to our name.
Yeah, there you go. It sounds like you are well on your way. Congratulations on this partnership. And thanks so much for sharing, Sid. And Sandra, always great to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Sid. We're very excited to be having him as our partner. Obviously, it's a great market, a big market, and we're happy to be on your show. So thank you.
Your data is vulnerable to cyber attacks. Introducing secure, Swiss-hosted solutions. Secure Mail, Secure Messenger, and Secure VPN, protecting your communications, internet traffic, and identity. Regain your privacy today. Visit Secure.
Surfair Mobility is a Los Angeles-based regional air mobility platform expanding the category of regional air travel to reinvent flying through electrification. So with me is the CEO Stan Little and founder Sidin Shahani to explain the company, and congratulations on your recent listing here at the New York Stock Exchange.
Great to be back at the exchange.
Yeah. So tell me about Surfair. What is it that the company does?
So we're a regional air mobility platform that provides both on-demand and scheduled air service to about 500,000 passengers a year. And we're making electric airplanes. So it will be within the next 3 years or so that we'll be flying these passengers point to point, not through major hubs, on electric aircraft.
Okay, who are your main customers, would you say?
You know, that's the great thing about what we do. We're an affordable platform, so this is not taking the top 2 or 3% like most charter has traditionally been. This is for everybody. We have tickets that range from $99 on up.
Yeah. Okay. So leisure and business and everything.
Leisure and business, whatever your needs are, regionally.
Okay, got it. So, Sidin, electric planes. Why does that matter?
So, Jane, most importantly, I think if you can make smaller planes electric, you make them affordable to a much bigger audience. Unlike cars, with planes, electrification actually reduces cost, which creates a lot more opportunity for a lot more routes. You know, here in the US alone, we have 5,000 airports that smaller planes can use, where in contrast, airlines use 30 airports for close to 70% of their traffic. So smaller, more affordable aircraft, and bringing the cost per seat of small planes down to a similar cost per seat, ideally as large planes today, creates the opportunity to build a huge regional transport network.
Yeah, interesting, because there are a lot of these smaller airports, as you mentioned, a lot of the bigger airlines are kind of abandoning them, so they're there and ready to go. Will you need pilots?
Well, absolutely we'll need pilots.
Okay.
We're not talking about unmanned aircraft.
Yet.
We're not
Okay.
autonomous.
Yeah.
But and, you know, there's a lot of talk right now about the pilot shortage
right,
that's
right,
out there.
yeah.
But we are one of the largest creators of pilots in the country rather than a consumer of pilots. So we bring in a new class of pilots every single month. We train pilots. We then graduate pilots from us up to the major carriers.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. And what about the VTOL has gotten a lot of an eVTOL, like vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. How do you fit into that ecosystem, and electric drones and like everything we're seeing? It's a very innovative space right now.
So if you look at what we're doing something that we're focused on speed to market and being able to make the biggest impact in the shortest amount of time. So we're actually taking existing aircraft types, fixed wing aircraft, the first one being an airplane called the Cessna Caravan, and creating electrified powertrains for it, both an electric version and a hybrid electric version. The importance of the hybrid electric version is you won't actually need charging stations on the ground. And we'll be able to deploy it across our existing fleet today. eVTOL, vertical takeoff and landing, essentially electric helicopters, is really interesting and compelling technology. It likely has a longer path to market because you have to create a whole new aircraft as opposed to just a new powertrain. And also, to make those aircraft commercially viable and to deploy them at scale, there's a lot of infrastructure on the ground that needs to be established. They're largely focused on urban air mobility, kind of 50 miles and less broadly. We're focused on regional, where all of the airports exist, the airplanes exist that you can convert over to electric and reduce cost, and there are routes that people are already flying today.
Yeah. Well, best of luck. So interesting to hear about the company and all the innovation really is going on in this industry. So it's
It
exciting
really is
times
a lot
ahead.
of changes coming up
Yeah.
ahead, and we want to be the first movers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Jane.
thanks.
Thank you, Jane.
Your data is vulnerable to hackers, with email being the cause of 91% of all cyber attacks. Introducing secure, Swiss-hosted, data-mine-free, private and secure solutions to protect your communications. Secure Mail offers secure and private email communication. Secure Messenger offers private and secure chats. Secure VPN encrypts your internet traffic and protects your digital identity. Regain your privacy today. Visit Secure at secure.com.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to your Secure Privacy and Security segment. I'm Anna Berry, along with Alain Guillaume, the CEO of Secure. All right, the weekly hack is talking Vegas. I'm sure you heard the news of the casino hack, MGM, Caesars. I've stayed at both places. Luckily, it was not when they were hacked. So the issue, Alain, I want you to talk a little bit about is the FBI is still struggling to basically find this group of casino hacking guys. It's an actual gang. They're based in the US and they still haven't been arrested. So give us an update of what's going on and why we should be weary of stuff like this.
Well, I leave the authorities to do their job, and I won't comment on that because they got quite a lot of work on their shoulders. What's important to know is that casino database is like the treasure trove. It's the holy grail because it's people that literally have money to spend, to throw away, and to gamble. That's the nature of the business. Interestingly enough, I stayed in Singapore a few years ago. It's the Sands Hotel or something. I forgot the name, but it's got that pool on the roof. And I received a few days ago an email from them. I mean, this was back in before 2019 even, and their database got hacked and my account has been compromised. So name, email address, everything. So this was before 2019. That's about almost 4 or 5 years ago. And the database stays. So even if you didn't stay there last month, Anna, you may have gone there 2 years ago or at some point. Your database is there because I didn't even go to the casino. I went to the hotel. There was a cybersecurity, there was a cloud conference there, and that's what we're exhibiting. And that's how they have my information. So casino database is extremely valuable. It's a huge target. And as we advance in this tough economic climate, that's the kind of database people want to get. Then they're going to resell it in the dark web and make money from it or hack you and find what kind of credit card and banking info you have. So it's pretty scary. We know that all these enterprises use the same infrastructure, the same email providers. And that's why we actually announced that we launched a brand new system for executives called Secure Relay, which essentially lets, let's say, MGM use their domain hosted with one of their providers, but the management and the C-level executives can host with us, maintaining the same domain. So we split the domain into two. We're the only ones able to do that. And then they have the advantage of that secure send, secure feature, and all that executives and managers would use for important communication. That's one way we can reduce crime and cyber hacking. So we're excited about that. Casinos are a prime target for this because they deal with obviously huge financial transactions.
Yes, and sometimes you feel helpless because you go to a casino. When I went, and you have to download these apps in order to get a coffee or room service or go to the pool. And so much of your information is out there already. And sometimes we don't really know what we can do at that big level, the corporate level, but what can we do at the consumer level between our own information at home on our computers? And that's also, you provide that service of the secure send and reply throughout your email services. So talk a little bit about that, because that's something we can adopt right now, today, on our own.
Yeah, that's a great example. You're going to go to a casino or a hotel, and if you're going to give any kind of information, sometime, I don't know, they need a copy of your passport or something, I would use the secure email with secure send, secure reply, which essentially lets you transact with anybody outside of secure, and the whole communication happens only in our servers in Switzerland. So the other person doesn't need to have secure. They can just click on a link, they get in, they read your email, and they use secure reply. You can also attach a ton of attachments. That's one way. You should have several email, a general email that is, throwable emails, we call it. We even offer that for consumer. We offer, I think, 2 aliases. So 2 throwable emails that you can use at any time and then delete it and recreate another email. That's free with your account. So I would use that. I would recommend doing that. And then you have your main email, which is for more private communication, your medical info, your real estate. Maybe you're going to refinance your home or do anything or travel. And when they need your social security number and whatever, that's what I would use for secure.
And one more step for privacy is the VPN. Talk about your recent launch of this VPN and then how people can start to adopt these services into their everyday lives.
Yeah, the VPN is great. The VPN essentially puts you in a stealth mode. You're essentially in Switzerland. I should mention that we never require your phone number when you download our application. We even have a secure messenger, and basically it doesn't require you to put your phone number. So that's huge. And not having a phone number out there, letting everybody know what you're using, having the VPN making you look like you're in Switzerland, because in Swiss law, the IP address is your private property, and it's illegal for us to even sell it or whatever. So we don't data mine you. So get the VPN and get the email combo. It's affordable, and we do offer a promo code as well with a 15% discount, and it's privacy. The promo code is privacy.
There you go. Well, privacy has arrived with Secure. Great speaking with you, Alain, and we'll see you next week for another topic of the Weekly Hack. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone, and be very careful, especially these days.
Absolutely.
Your data is vulnerable to cyber attacks. Introducing secure Swiss-hosted solutions. Secure Mail, Secure Messenger, and Secure VPN, protecting your communications, internet traffic, and identity. Regain your privacy today. Visit Secure.